Kim Taehyung, or V, successfully completed his mandatory military service, opting to serve in SDT-MP, or Special Duty Team Military Police. This is a specialized subunit under the broader umbrella of the military police. SDT units are forces trained for high-risk missions involving both law enforcement and combat duties. They're essentially a SWAT-style tactical unit within the military police, combining policing authority with military-grade tactical ability. Gendarmerie, or a hybrid between a soldier and a police officer. This one is also a request, and let's break down their role, specialties, and how they compare and relate to South Korea's special forces. First, let's talk primary responsibilities. One of them is anti-terrorism and counter-terrorism, especially in military bases. This means that they stop terrorist threats or attacks before they happen, or they fight back if one does occur. For example, if an armed intruder tried to break into a military base, SDT-MP would be the first to respond and neutralize the threat quickly. Another is hostage rescue and facility protection. They save people who are being held hostage, and they defend important military buildings. For example, if someone takes a general or soldier hostage inside a base building, SDT-MP would storm in with shields and weapons to rescue them safely. Next, apprehension of deserters or armed criminals. Catching soldiers who run away from duty, or deserters, or anyone armed and dangerous on military property. If a soldier escapes with a weapon and goes into hiding in the mountains or city, SDT-MP would track them down and bring them back. They also do quick response raids and tactical arrests. They move fast to raid places and arrest suspects, especially if they're armed or resisting. For example, if there's illegal activity happening in a military dorm, like weapons smuggling, SDT-MP would break in suddenly using flashbangs and teamwork to arrest everyone safely. Another is VIP protection for military officials, guarding high-ranking officers or visitors from threats during travel or events. For example, if the Minister of Defense is visiting a base near the DMZ, SDT-MP would escort them and check for bombs or snipers. Another is special reconnaissance and surveillance in urban and close-quarter environments. They secretly gather information in tight spaces like buildings, cities, or tunnels without being detected. For example, before raiding a suspected hideout in a city, SDT-MP might use cameras, drones, or snipers to watch the building and plan the best entry point. In short, SDT-MP is like a high-speed, heavily trained SWAT team for the military, ready to rescue, arrest, protect, or spy at a moment's notice, especially inside or near army areas. I know you're already impressed, but we're not done. Let's talk specialties of SDT-MP. Close quarter combats. They fight in very tight spaces like inside a building, narrow hallways, or stairwells where enemies are only a few meters away or even face to face. These things happen fast at a very short distance, and it involves guns, knives, or it can be a hand-to-hand combat. It requires quick reflexes and precise teamwork. For example, SDT-MP bursts into a room to rescue a hostage. The enemy is hiding behind a couch just a few feet away. There is no time for long-distance tactics. They need to fight up close, clear each room safely, and protect the hostage. Next is urban warfare, military fights that take place inside cities or towns where there are lots of buildings, streets, cars, and people. This involves moving through apartments, alleys, and rooftops. You have to deal with ambushes from windows or basements. Usually in places like this, it's very difficult to spot the enemy because of cover and civilians. For example, an enemy unit is hiding in an abandoned apartment complex in Seoul. SDT-MP has to go carefully, floor by floor, dealing with threats coming from multiple directions, some from rooftops, others from staircases or balconies. They deal with tactical breaching. Tactical breaching means walking through a locked door, wall, window, or barrier so a team can quickly enter a room or building during a mission, usually when time, safety, or surprise is critical. They do this to rescue hostages, to capture criminals or deserters, to raid a location quickly and safely, and to maintain the element of surprise. There are also different types of tactical breaching. There's mechanical breaching. They use tools like crowbars, bolt cutters. For example, SDT-MP uses a ram to smash open a steel door in a warehouse. There's also the ballistic breaching. They use a shotgun to blast the door lock or hinges. Next, explosive breaching, using small controlled chargers to blow open a door or wall. Next, thermal breaching, using cutting torches to melt through metal. It's rare, slow, mostly for special cases. There's also manual or covert breaching. They use lock-picking tools to enter quietly and avoid alerting suspects. Tactical breaching is the art of breaking in, but smart, fast, and with a mission. It's not about brute force alone. It's about getting in without getting shot and opening paths for your team while staying safe and keeping control. There are other specialties. I'm not going to explain this because they are self explanatory. They do forced entry, weapons handling, and room clearing drills, high speed rappelling, parachuting, and helicopter insertions, martial arts and hand to hand combat, and in some MPSDT divisions, K9 unit handling. Of course, Kim Taehyung went through a lot of training to master all of those. Let's go through some of the more popular drills that SDT-MP do. One is live fire room clearing. SDT-MP members enter mock buildings and clear rooms using real ammunition, not blanks. This forces them to maintain pinpoint accuracy and tight formation to avoid friendly fire. There is zero room for error. One wrong move could mean hitting a teammate. It teaches deadly focus and real combat composure. They do gas mask combat endurance. Trainees must fight, shoot, or run obstacle courses while wearing full gas masks and suits, often in hot weather conditions. Next, cold weather immersion or urban assault. SDT candidates jump into icy water, then immediately begin combat simulations, scaling walls, crawling under barbed wire, breaching mock buildings. Next, rappelling and fast roping from helicopters, descending rapidly from helicopters onto rooftops, into buildings, or go through windows using ropes. They do this at night under simulated combat. One slip means a fall from 30 to 50 feet. It trains fearless vertical assault tactics. Next, explosive breaching training. They handle and deploy real explosives to blow through doors or walls, followed by immediate combat engagement. You must calculate the right amount of charge, not too much to harm teammates, and not too little to fail the breach. It combines brains and brute force. Deserter tracking and capture simulations. Trainees simulate tracking armed deserters hiding in buildings or terrain, often at night, with limited intel. These are real-time cat and mouse chases. It builds sniper awareness, stealth, movement, and combat arrest skills. It's like manhunting. Of course, they do close quarter combat sparring, hand-to-hand combat, knife defense, and grappling under pressure. You're drenched in sweat. Your gear is heavy, but you're expected to disarm and disable opponents without flinching. Another is night ops and flashbang infiltration drills. They breach buildings at night using only flashbangs and night vision, simulating hostage rescues or terrorist takedowns. You're blinded by strobe lights, stunned by noise, and still have to identify friend from foe and clear the building room to room. So, what is the difference between SDT-MP and Special Forces? SDT-MP does tactical raids, urban combat, counter deserter ops, base security, domestic and internal military policing roles. Special Forces does deep infiltration behind enemy lines, assassination, sabotage, reconnaissance, hostage rescue abroad, and they operate during wartime and black ops missions. Special forces operate on a national and international level, while SDT-MP mostly works within military installation and in peacetime crisis. How does the training intensity compare? Well, for SDT-MP, it's still elite, but trained for urban tactical response rather than full spectrum warfare. 3 to 6 months of advanced training after basic, but they are more focused on quick reaction policing. On the other hand, Special Forces does complete airborne, underwater demolition, survival, mountain warfare. They do more than 1 year of grueling training pipeline, selectively recruited and mentally screened. Special Forces go through longer and more diverse combat preparation. Next, operational flexibility. SDT-MP are more tactically focused and respond within the military police's jurisdiction. Special forces can be deployed anywhere, including overseas mission and unconventional warfare. Now, in terms of selectivity, SDT-MP is highly respected, but not typically involved in strategic national missions or joint international ops. Again, still very, very elite. Special Forces units like the 707th Special Mission Group are often regarded as the tip of the spear. They train alongside U.S. Navy SEALs, Green Berets, and others. Special Forces is more like commandos, and SDT-MP is more like SWAT within the military. Those that are doing their mandatory military training aren't actually allowed to do special forces. They are very, very selective in this. For you to be a member of the special forces, you have to be the best and you have to make this your career. So, those that are serving their mandatory service, the most elite they can go is SDT. So, during peacetime, SDT-MP is actually more visible because they do law enforcement basically. They're like the police of the military. But and then special forces, they're more covert. You don't really know who they are and they're very combat focused. They are the you tap them when it's like absolutely necessary. So that's why and they go through like a lot of training. They have to be like machines so that when the time comes that they are needed, it's basically muscle memory for them. So people that are just fulfilling their military service, they can't really get into special forces. Those guys are chosen and they're trained, as I've said, for long periods of time. And that's why they say that SDT-MP is more urban focused. They can do other stuff, but more or less they're urban focused because they are the police of the military. That's how you can think about them, that the police of the military. So I didn't really do awards because I don't know the awards that V received. Once I know, then let me know and I'll do that as well. But as of now, I don't know. He didn't really talk about it. So if you know of any, just let me know. And then if you have any requests, I am always open. Just request if you want me to talk about any member or any aspects of their career, let me know. I'm open to it. I don't have a monopoly of good ideas. I try to as much as I can. So I appreciate when people actually come to me and say, "Hey, can you do a video of this person about this?" And so just let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover, and I will. I hope that you enjoy that. I certainly enjoyed researching. As you know, I have a group of friends here who actually served in the military in South Korea. And then I have two friends who are still actually in the military, one US military and then the other in South Korean military. And so it was fun. I had an excuse basically to call them because then I'm researching. I know that you're not supposed to just wait for an excuse, but life. Okay. I enjoyed it. So I hope that you enjoyed watching it too. Please like the video, subscribe, and hit that notification button. I upload videos almost every day. So there's a lot of stuff for you to learn and watch, not just about K-pop, but also cultural videos and videos about other acts. Also, if you can, please subscribe. Share to your friends the video and the channel. That's really helping my channel. And please follow me on X, on IG, and most especially on Patreon because it's a vibrant community. We have a lot of great conversations there, not just about BTS, but about music, movies, TV shows. Sometimes we're just kidding around. So I hope to see you there, and thank you.